What is up, guys? Just coming at you with a quick video today. It's Friday. It's almost 5 p.m. Central Time here. We're just going to go over the Friday practice reports. There were a ton of practice reports flying out today. We got a lot of game time decisions and things to get into. So what we're going to do here is I'm just going to do a screen share. I do have a link to the practice reports too. If you just go to thefantasyfellowship.com, I guess I do have the description in the link there, or the link in the description. Hit the link to the practice reports, and then you can kind of view it all for yourself. But for me, I'm just going to read the primary news here. The main one was, I guess it's for maybe week 3, but Justin Herbert's got fractured rib cartilage. He's day-to-day, which I guess is best-case scenario. He's not week-to-week or anything. So we'll find out more information next week. We'll hopefully everything goes well. He gets a nice week to rest. But other headline notes here is George Kittle. He practiced today, and actually his practice reports were weird this week. They don't have the Fridays listed here yet, but Kittle did not practice Wednesday or Thursday, but he does practice Friday here. So it looks like he's trending towards playing. That would be a huge boost for them. Allen Lazard, questionable. Allen Lazard actually practiced all 3 days this week here. He logged limiteds across the board here. Limited Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So that's a huge boost for the Green Bay Packers passing game. They're also getting a boost from offensive line here. Elgton Jenkins practiced in full today, so I'm expecting him to play. And then the big question, of course, is going to be David Bakhtiari. The other major news here, Chris Godwin's been ruled out. Tampa Bay's got an ugly, ugly practice report going on right now. Let me click on this. So did not practice. Godwin out. Donovan Smith doubtful, one of their best offensive linemen here. Levante David, Akeem Hicks got the day off. Tom Brady full, but then you get limiteds here with Evans, Fournette, Gage, and Julio Jones. So the entire Bucs offense is pretty banged up. Julio did not practice Wednesday or Thursday, but he limited on Friday. Evans didn't practice yesterday, but limited today, and I think Russell Gage is good. He gets back-to-back limited practices in here. So we'll monitor that. I think all Bucs receivers are good to go, Evans, Gage, and Julio, but we'll probably be looking at them for game time decisions. The next one here, this one says Mark Ingram is questionable for week 2, and that's concerning because Alvin Kamara has not practiced in back-to-back days. So it's looking like typically you want Thursday and Friday are the most important days going into a game on Sunday. So Alvin Kamara limited Wednesday, DNP. I don't like that look. I think I would put him more doubtful than questionable. But then you also have Mark Ingram, who's been limited here for 3 straight practices. Something to monitor here. Maybe we see a couple other running backs, maybe more Taysom Hill, something like that. So make sure you have an insurance policy for Alvin Kamara. Najee Harris does not have any injury tag for week 2, so he's good to go. And then there's the Alvin Kamara not spotted at practice. But now that we kind of covered the major ones, I guess there's still a couple major ones that we haven't got to. So maybe we'll get to them as I scroll through here. I guess before I get started, I wanted to say Michael Pittman Jr. is one of those guys here who did not practice back-to-back days. The Colts, a little short-handed right now. Alec Pierce has already been ruled out. Michael Pittman Jr., no practice Thursday or Friday, so that's concerning for me. And then Shaq Leonard also already ruled out. So a couple big pieces there for the Colts coming up against the Jags. Brandon Bolden here listed as doubtful for week 2. That could be a nice thing for Amir Abdullah, who could get some more touches there. Zamir White could also be active for the first time. He was not, I think he was active last week, but he just didn't play. So the Raiders will use 3 running backs, Jacobs, Abdullah, and Zamir White. This actually is going to probably make me like Josh Jacobs a little bit more if they're shorthanded. So we'll go forward from here. Zach Ertz not on the practice report, so that's good news. You can continue to start him. You've also got actually I want to look at this, the trending players here. This is a good tab because T. Higgins, he had a personal day yesterday. I believe it was for the funeral for his father who passed away last week. So condolences to T. Higgins and family. But he practiced today, so I think he's going to be good to go for week 2 here. So he ends up getting a full practice in today, limited on Wednesday. So I'm feeling good to go about T. Higgins. You're going to want him in your lineup going up against the Cowboys. DeAndre Swift practiced today. His reports were a little weird this week. I think they're maybe just kind of being really cautious with him. He's a DNP and a DNP Wednesday, Thursday, but limited on Friday. So I think he's good to go. Let me see what other players are trending here. We kind of talked about all these guys here, so that's good to go. We'll keep it moving here. We covered Herbert. We covered Kittle. Let's see what else we got here. Brevin Jordan, questionable week 2 against the Broncos. So if he doesn't go, maybe O.J. Howard's worth a look. Big one here for Seattle. Kenneth Walker not listed on Seattle's injury report. So earlier in the week, Pete Carroll did say he's got a good chance to play week 2, and he held his word. So full practice Wednesday and Friday, limited on Thursday. Kenneth Walker good to go. That's going to take some of the shine off of whatever shine there was left of Rashad Penny. I don't think you can safely start Rashad Penny as a running back 2 now that Kenneth Walker is coming back. So you might want to take a week to just see what this backfield looks like. Again, it's a decent run defense there in San Francisco. There's Jenkins listed as questionable, Bakhtiari questionable. Dolphins left tackle Teron Armstead questionable here. Let me double check Miami's reports real quick. See who's DNP. Sathan Carter, no practice today. Teron gets a limited in the last 2 days, so he's trending in the right direction at least. That's going to be very helpful against the Ravens. There's Alan Lazard. I think he's going to play. Ronnie Stanley, doubtful against the Dolphins. That's kind of a big one here. Let me click on the Ravens because we can talk about a couple players here. The biggest name on the Ravens is probably J.K. Dobbins being full all week. I think we're going to see J.K. Dobbins' debut. I'm not saying to start him. I mean, if you're in an emergency situation and you need to put him in there as your RB2, I'm okay with it. But I kind of want to see what this offense looks like and his snaps and his usage looks like before I trust him. But we got some concerns here. Look at this defense. Marlon Humphrey did not practice for 2 straight days, questionable with a groin. Backup receiver there, doubtful. Brandon Stevens, another cornerback, did not practice here. Another quarterback, Marcus Peters, questionable with a knee. He got a limited, a full, and a limited. And then you have, I thought there was one more. I guess Travis Jones. That's a big piece of their defense. We'll move it on here. There's Marcus Peters. Guard here for the Washington Commanders is questionable. Let's see what else we got here. There's the Dobbins. This one's interesting because the Lions ruled out Frank Ragnow, their starting center, who's a pretty good option for them. And this was a huge part of what DeAndre Swift did last week. So that does take a little bit of the shine off of DeAndre Swift play this week. There's Chris Godwin out. Tristan Wirfs is questionable, so we'll see what he can do. Donovan Smith, doubtful. Terrace Marshall had his best practice all week. Take that for what it's worth. You got Kyle Phillips here being limited at practice. Now, these guys the Titans play Monday night against at Buffalo here. He did not practice yesterday, I believe. Let me see. DNP yesterday, limited today, so he's on the right track. I think we're going to be talking about Kyle Phillips on the waiver wire next week. He's a guy that you want to stash in PPR leagues for sure. He's probably going to end up leading the Titans in targets this season. Jameis Winston questionable, but we expect him to play. I covered Mark Ingram already. We covered Najee Harris already. There's the George Kittle news. This one's interesting if you need a tight end because CJ Uzomah is listed as doubtful with a hamstring. And last week, like Tyler Conklin dominated the snaps and the routes and the targets. So Uzomah he's an afterthought. He should not be rostered in any format. Tyler Conklin's the guy who you want if you needed a tight end. So he's a guy worth picking up and seeing what happens again. He caught the touchdown last week, 4 for 16 and a touchdown last week, but again, 7 targets from Joe Flacco. Braxton Berrios questionable. He did log back-to-back full practices, so he's probably going to be good to go. Titans cornerback Christian Fulton not practicing. Dontrell Hilliard not practicing, so that might be nice for Hassan Haskins to get some opportunity here, or maybe more Derrick Henry in the passing game. Leonard Floyd, knee injury here. Cardinals ruled out Andy Isabella against the Raiders. This is an interesting one. We talked about Zach Ertz. Of course, Rondale Moore ruled out already, as well as Andy Isabella. Ertz is going to play, and that kind of leaves Marquise Brown, Greg Dortch, and AJ Green as like the top receivers there. Greg Dortch is an interesting guy to keep an eye on. There's the Alvin Kamara news. Velus Jones, doubtful. Then there's the positive reports for T. Higgins. I think you got to get T. Higgins in your lineup. Let's see, Kayvon Thibodeau, doubtful. KJ Hamler been ruled out, so that that's going to push me to continue to use Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy. Kadarius Toney questionable. I don't think we can recommend Toney in starting lineups at all right now. He's barely a hold in redraft leagues right now, so we'll see if he can get on the field more this week if he does go. Rondale Robinson listed as out, and then I think we're pretty much where we wanted to be here. Shi Smith. Kenny Moore questionable for the Colts. Michael Gallup, of course, not playing, but he's got a chance to play next week. Even if he plays, we're not going to start him while Cooper Rush is a bit of an unknown here. There's the Alec Pierce news. And then here's the Michael Pittman news. So he's questionable. He didn't practice again Wednesday or Thursday. Or he practiced, what was it? He practiced on Wednesday in limited, but DNP and DNP. So that's interesting. I think if Pittman goes, You probably want to get him in your lineup, but either way, I think the number 2 target in that offense is going to be Nyheim Hines this week. So I'm getting him in my lineups in PPR leagues when you can. No Damien Williams this week, and that's going to be more Cordero Patterson. It's actually very interesting. Damien Williams' usage before he went down, he was kind of getting more opportunity than Patterson. So something to watch there. As long as Williams is out, expect Patterson to be the workhorse. Mac Jones, good to go. It sounds like the back and the illness are just fine. And then and now we kind of get to kind of everything's on repeat here. So that's going to do it. If you guys are hanging out with me tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a live show tomorrow with the player props at about 10 a.m. Central Time, and then I'll do a live stream Saturday night and going over any start-sit questions you guys may have, and then we'll do a live Sunday hangout about an hour and a half before the game. So that's going to do it for this video. Just wanted to be quick, update you with all the practice reports. I might have even missed a couple, but I think we got you all the info you needed. So don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you are new, and have a good night, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.